Okay, drawing 8, square to round. I guess actually it's a bit of a rectangular to round, but hey, it has got square corners, 90 degrees, so doesn't get too much easier than this one here. So let's get at it. What are we looking at? So we got tons of room on this one, super simple. Just going to do a half pattern. Baseline here, we're going to come up 20 millimeters just because we got lots of room down below. We're going to come 10 millimeters over for the vertical. All we need to do is draw a quarter of the view for the top. So this quadrant right here is all we need because it is symmetrical, it is on center. And we just need the 1/2 here of the front view, and we need the 100, that's the height. So let's have a look at, we got 65 offset here, so the 130. So 65 on either side, and we got the 35 mil radius, so we got 70 there for the diameter. So do make sure you've got 65 from here to here. You got 25 millimeters, because this is 50 divided by 2. You got a 35 millimeter radius here, and you got 35 millimeters at the top. Okay, simple as that. And from there, true length diagram here. We got tons of room. I'm just going to come over 100. So come over 100 there, and then we're going to do the pattern up here, and I'm just going to keep it the same height as this true length diagram, just coming over, and then I'm just going to come 130 over, so it's not extremely big, pretty simple, pretty small. Super easy. So what are we doing here? So we got a solid line here, there would be a dotted line here, I'm not going to put a hidden line here, and we're just going to label this as A, B, and C. For the bottom, because this would be the bottom here, and then we're going to number this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the pattern that we're going to do is going to be seam through here. Okay, seam through there. So that's what's happening with this. Okay, that's our pattern, how it's going to stretch out. Okay, so we need a couple heights, or offsets I should say, so we can get our lengths or heights. A1, because it is tapered out, so it's not going to be the 100 for this flat pattern here, so it's going to be a little longer than 100. So we have 10 millimeters here, so it's not going to be a lot longer, but it's going to be a little bit. So A1, I'm just going to put it over on this side over here. We have A1. For our height, so we actually don't need B1 because we'll be able to find our height there, be able to offset, and then go from there. So all we really need is our 2, 3, and 4 coming over. Okay, so let's grab our 2 and our B. We got B2 here, B3. Real simple for this one. Like I said, as soon as you start to do these, it's like cones. Doesn't get much easier in cones either. Radial line. B4. And there ain't no more after this. B4. And 4 here can actually be here. And we're going to call this C. This would be a true length down here if this was C. So C4, we can get off of this side here. Okay, so we need our height over here. So A1, we need to start on center at A. So let's put A here. And then 1, so we're coming here. True length diagram here. Again, better write this on here so we all remember what this is called. Diagram. Okay, so A1. There. Realistically, how much longer is that? Half a millimeter? But if this is in the larger scale of things, it would make a difference. So 1, 70 diameter times pi. 70 times pi equals 219.9 divided by 12 equals 18.3 millimeters. This is where you're going to want to use your other dividers. We'll preset this. Let's see here. That as accurately as possible. Put a big arc on this one. Going to be curling up at the top. A to B was 65. So how about we just use our ruler. Put that right at 65 there. We'll mark at 0. And I'll go mark at 130. Those will both be B's. Okay. Now B2. So B2 right here. Yeah, once you've done one squared around, you've done a million. They're all very similar. Even moving forward here, we start to go off center, and same sort of thing, just more work. 3. And again, you get all those apps on your phones now. All these pattern software programs out there. A lot of things are all affordable to cut. B3 on the CNC machine now. So now you're just forming it. B3. Okay, mark that. Step out one more time. Same with the other side. B4. There's B4 there. You know, again, you're just one then the other. Can't do one without the other, and you're just following the path. Following the numbers. 4, 4. Okay, so from B to C, 25 mil. Gonna use this dimension right here. Use your ruler if you like. It'll be close enough for what I'm doing here. Always do a nice big arc. Pretty small little wing on this one side. 4 down to C. That will be a true length right there. To C. Down here, C and C. All we have to do is the 90-degree corner. That worked out pretty good. This side should be the same. It's a mirrored image. So instead of trying to remember each step or step by step, just kind of think about that as just a complete unit. And just can't do one thing without the other. And where does one dimension come from? Where does it come from? Where is it going? Where is it connecting to? What is the length? What is the actual length of that? Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to snake that in. Grab the correct side here. if you just had one of these to do, doing them by hand would probably be almost just as fast as the machine. By the time you get the machine set up and change the tip or different material thickness, or put the material on the machine, it'd be a tough race. But for just one, depends on how set up your machine is and how fast you are at the machine. Machine is pretty quick. It is hard to beat the machine. And the quality of cut and the speed, pretty hard to beat the speed. 200 inches per minute cuts pretty fast. We'll just get some bend lines on here. This is obviously a center line. Go by your sheet there, put your name on it. Today's date. You always want to date everything so you know when it was built. We're just going to call this a squared around, as simple as that. It's drawing 8. Drawing 8, and this one's a half pattern. And again, you're going to need these little tabs up here again. Without them, you'll have a lot of trouble trying to bend this little section here. It won't bend. We're going to put some shear lines on here. Just put some dot quadrant lines on there. Shear and shear. Shear and shear. And we're going to burn that. Burn that. Burn that. Pretty quick, eh? So not too bad. Okay, let's double check. Move it to your pattern. This one was done by the Design to Fab. It's got the blank sizes and all that. I'm going to do this on the AutoCAD as well, just to have it on AutoCAD. It's nice to have. And again, just making sure you're going through the checklist here. Everything looks good. Forming directions. 30 and 15, and this will be 90 down below. Again, just 15, 30. Always a half bend in the center there. You can always put a form up to 70 on there as well, just so the operator knows. Okay, that was drawing 8. That's it. Good luck.